And we've gone live. Okay, I'm just waiting for Mr. Nick Wood to join me. Hello, this is Stephen in wonderful Wiltshire, England. And today we're talking about healthcare. We're talking about multi-streaming. And I'm just going to check a message I've got from Nick. And Nick is saying you can see the camera still initializing. So this is an update. This is live video. And the thing I love about live video is that occasionally things go awry, and what you don't do is panic. I mean, I love live video. I love broadcasting live. I love broadcasting here right now on the OneStream Live YouTube channel. I'm just waiting for we got liftoff. We've got liftoff. We're live on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, I'd like to say thank you. I'm coming over to the chat. I'm going to connect the chat, step-by-step approach, and we should be live on YouTube. If you're watching live, hello. If you're watching replay, hello. And we've got hello come in, and the hello is from Balak. Thank you for joining. And we're looking forward to Nick actually joining too. If I can tell you that this is what we're talking about today. It's multi-platform live streaming for healthcare in 2024. And my guest today is Mr. Nick Wood, and I'm waiting to be notified that Nick has arrived. And we're having a few technical problems at the moment. So Balak, hello, and I'm going to get underway, and hopefully Nick will join me at some point during this live broadcast. Okay. Live broadcasting has really taken off globally over the last 3 or 4 years, especially with the health. And all right, okay, and I'm talking to Nick whilst I'm live, so bear with me for a moment. Right, okay, so if I come down to the card again, let's show the card on screen. Whilst I'm talking to Nick in the background. So multi-platform live streaming, and OneStream Live is the ideal place to actually talk about this, because OneStream Live can go to up to 45 different destinations. And I'm going to put those on screen. So this is where you can broadcast to with OneStream Live. You can broadcast to a Facebook page or your profile. In addition to that, you can broadcast to a Facebook group. Now, in the this week, Facebook have made changes to groups. They've all been incorporated into OneStream Live, and you can still go live in groups with OneStream Live. It's just a few more steps to go with it. With OneStream Live, we can broadcast to your LinkedIn profile or to LinkedIn page. We can broadcast to Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Amazon Live, Hopin, and there you go. And of course, custom RTMP, which is a great way to actually connect to multiple platforms. And that's just half of the list of places that we can actually broadcast to. So live streaming is here, it's now. And I'm broadcasting out now to YouTube later in the day. This live broadcast will broadcast to 19 different channels, all at the same time, all from within OneStream Live. OneStream Live makes it so easy to actually broadcast to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, you name it, you can broadcast anywhere. And in the healthcare industry, increasingly, video is playing a part in healthcare. So let's have a look at today's agenda. I'll just bring that on screen. And what we're going to be, I say we advisedly, what we're going to be talking about today is here. And we're going to be talking about, I need my glasses for this, I've got to be honest. We're going to be talking about what is multi-platform live streaming, the benefits of multi-streaming, accessibility, education and training, patient education, health promotion, telemedicine. This is a fantastic area. as far as medicine is concerned, and remote consultation. So you don't have to go to the doctor's surgery to get consultation. In addition to that, as I mentioned later, you don't have to speak to a doctor in your own town, in your own state, in your own country. You can speak and chat with doctors around the world. There are systems in Australia and the US where you can book a 10-minute appointment with a doctor and you can talk about things which affect you. Immediate access to information. We've all got used to this now. If we have a query or an ailment, we can go to Google and can search for it, and we can find a video on YouTube which will give us some information, some useful information about our ailments. And it's basically a burgeoning market. And then medical research and collaboration. Live video is a brilliant way for researchers in different countries to actually come together and to, I was checking whether Nick said anything. Okay. Just let me put one thing up. I should better put that full screen. I'm just going to chat to Nick. Okay, so we're going. That's what we're talking about today. Okay, and I'm going over here, and I just want to go there. Okay, and I don't have support, so I can't go there, so I'll come back to me. Okay, right. Just a minute. I've got a message coming in from Nick, and Nick's going to try a different browser, see if he can get in. I don't have live support. If anybody from OneStream is watching this, my good friend, Mr. Nick Wood, who has made it so far as actually be on the card. Yeah, Nick is actually on the card that you can see here. A good friend of mine, we were broadcasting together yesterday, and we should be broadcasting together right now. And Nick is trying to get in, and hopefully he will. He's going to try a different browser. Just a minute. And he's saying, okay. And we're back. Okay, what you're getting now, this is not typical of a live broadcast. Live broadcasting these days is extremely reliable. And in healthcare, it has to be. It has to be secure. And yes, I'm trying to solve two things at one time. Just let me bring this in, and I'm going to replace the media that's there. I'm going to go like that. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a start, because I'm feeling that we may do this broadcast again in future, but Nick is actually struggling to access the studio. So if there's anybody watching from OneStream Live, then please do step in. I've given Nick the link, and he's got into checking his camera and microphone, but they're not being recognized. So that's where we're at. Okay. So you're watching a real live broadcast where things are not going strictly according to plan. So where do we go from here? I suppose I'm going to actually start talking on point, and hopefully Nick will turn up. If he doesn't, then Nick and I will do this broadcast all over again. But I know that you tuned in, wanted to know about, about today's topic, which is bring this across here. Okay, multi-platform live streaming for healthcare. Now, the thing is that you can actually view medical content on any of the major platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or X as it's called now, Twitch, there's so many different choices, and people all have their favorites. I've got my favorite platforms. I've got Facebook and basically Threads. That's where I live. So if you are in the health industry, in healthcare, where do you broadcast and what are your choices? Well, I said a moment ago that one of your choices is to use OneStream, and with OneStream, you're okay, just a moment. We have progress. You won't believe this, folks. Hello, Nick. I haven't got sound. Just a minute. We'll get there in a second. Oh, I haven't got sound. Okay. We're making progress, folks, but Nick doesn't have any sound at the moment. Are you on mute or? Yes. Now this is interesting. I'm reluctant to actually go out and come back in again because it took all that time to come in. I'm just gonna. What should I do? I'm going to, because you're not moving either. Just a minute. Let's just confirm that. I'm just going to remove this from stream, and we've now got Nick and myself side by side. All right. I can see you moving now. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear? You can hear me, right? Okay. So we're halfway there. I've got my speakers turned on to my normal speakers. So that's that. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Test. Oh, my speakers are working. Just a minute. Let's testing 1, 2, 3. We're having a broadcast from don't know where, Nick. Yeah, I want to just let me make sure that I'm going to fire up YouTube and see whether I actually got sound on my computer. That's the next bit. Do I have sound on my computer? I've got an equalizer running, and it is through to my monitor. And yeah. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Right. I'm going over to YouTube, and just give me a moment. Wait a minute. I've got a ping. What happened there? Is somebody else in? No. I got a ping in my studio, and I got chat, and the chat is coming up, and the chat saying live. Yes, we are live. We're not pressing very far. Just going over to YouTube. I actually heard that ping, so obviously my speakers are working. Right, so that's another one. My speakers are working. So my speakers are full blast. So my mic's working. My speakers are working. The only thing that's not, have you got your lapel microphone? Right, Nick's going to switch it round. Okay, I'm getting pretty good at lip reading. Right, okay, I want to say thank you to Balak for actually joining us live. If you're watching live, I want to say thank you. If you're catching the replay, we're 14 minutes in and we have 2 of us on screen, and we will, once we have a microphone sorted, we will actually do it all and go through from the top. Testing. And now you've frozen. Now you've gone. so Nick's disappeared. Nick is there, but he's not there. So I'm going to put that full screen. This should be me. And what you're having is a live troubleshooting session. And Nick, if you can still hear me, your camera and microphone, I've not got any of them. Just a moment. I just want to check something. Camera and microphone are on. Oh, Nick is in the studio. Just a minute. I've just got a blank screen next to me. And the thing is, I can't refresh. You know, none of the systems we can refresh. If I refresh, that ends the broadcast. Can you go out and come back in again, please? Okay, because if I end the session, it does totally end the session, and you and I are removed from the studio. So yeah, Nick's left, and Nick is going to come back in, hopefully with camera and microphone. Okay, this is live video, and we're having a rather interesting morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. And it's a two-person broadcast. I can show you a picture of Nick. This is a picture of Nick. If I go here and put it on full screen, what you should be watching is multi-platform live streaming for healthcare 2024 with myself, Stephen Healy, and Nick Wood. So that's a picture of Nick. So you have seen what he looks like. And we saw him on screen. Balak and I saw him on screen a few minutes ago. But he's had to go, and I'm getting another message. And okay. So I'm waiting for Nick to come back in. And basically, it's very difficult to stay. Yeah, several things going on here. And I just hope that Nick can actually join me before the broadcast finishes. This has been an interesting experience. First off, with Nick trying to get his camera and microphone recognized by OneStream. We got through that hurdle, and then Nick came into the studio, and I could see him, but I couldn't hear him. So he swapped mics. That didn't work. So then the next thing was that I couldn't see him in the studio, and I've got a line which says Nick joined the session. So just I'm going to close everything down. So I've only got one tab open. If I click the wrong tab, this is going to be interesting. So what I'm going to try and do now is this. 3, 2, 1. Nick's smiling too. Hello, Nick. No, we have no sound. We have no sound. Can you switch your mic on and off again? Mute it and unmute it. No, nothing. Crickets. We don't have any sound at all. And Angelica is in conference. Otherwise, I'd ask Angelica to join me. I don't know what we've got, Nick. I mean, we could communicate via sign. I don't think anybody understands the problems with that. One, I don't know BSL, and Nick has gone again. I heard a sound then, just as Nick was disappearing. I can't remove myself from the broadcast because it could be my end, but I've checked that the volume's actually working.
Let's try the built-in microphone.
Brilliant. Hello, Nick.
Is that doing anything?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
No. How strange.
Right, can you switch your camera off and on again? And carry on talking, because that's the only way I know you're here, because you're showing us a black square at the moment. So if you can switch your camera or change cameras, perhaps. Just a minute, change cameras and the microphone. I heard you then. When your camera went off, your microphone came on. Just a minute, I'm going to mute and unmute. Try now. No. You can't hear me. Okay. Yeah. I mean, setting this up takes ages. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm actually live on YouTube, and that people on YouTube can hear me. They're getting a lesson in what to do when things go wrong in your studio. But I can see you, but I cannot hear you, and you can't hear me now. So we are at a stage where Nick, I'm live on YouTube. My mic is live on YouTube. This is interesting. You know what's going to happen, don't you? When we finish this broadcast and we go out and then we come in and do brilliant, we do an impromptu broadcast. Just a minute. I'll put you full screen, then perhaps I'll be able to see it. Can you show me share the mobile again? Can you show me the mobile phone again? Oh, hang on. Can you show me your mobile? Can you show me your mobile? Right. Okay. I'm going to. Right. Okay. Fine. Can you? Okay. Yes, I can hear you on YouTube. Good. Thank you. Okay. Right. We're going to carry on troubleshooting. I'm going to bring Nick back next to me here. Nick, can you come in using your phone? Right. So Nick's going to come in using his phone. Yes. Spot on. Try and access using your phone. The studio. Hang on. Okay, sorry about this radio silence. So I've asked Nick to actually come in via mobile because we should be able to do that. We should be able to come in via mobile. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Okay, so we're still troubleshooting. If you exit the studio on your, hang on. We're now communicating using the chat in this in the studio. Nick, I need to knock on. I need to knock and wake Nick up because his camera's frozen. No, he hasn't. His eyes moved. Probably this is going to have an amazing audience because things are going totally wrong. I think we should. I don't know. Okay, I've got a message coming in. Just a minute. Okay. This is so strange. Okay, weird. Right, I've lost Nick, and Nick has left the session. Right, it's over to me. If you joined this broadcast in the expectation of being able to talk about this, and I'm going to put this full screen. Basically, multi-platform live streaming for healthcare in 2024. Then my apologies. It was to be a two-hander broadcast with myself and Nick Wood. Nick was unable to actually access the studio, and then he was able to access the studio, and I couldn't hear Nick, and Nick couldn't hear me. Everything that could go wrong in a live broadcast has done so. Validating camera and microphone, being able to hear each other in the studio. Chats worked, and we can see the comments that are actually coming through on YouTube from Balak. So everything's working as far as I'm concerned. If this broadcast had been solo, then you wouldn't have known anything about what's gone before. So what I'm going to do, I'm just waiting for the half-hour mark, and then I'm going to do the broadcast proper solo, unless Nick can get in the meantime. Okay, and so for the next few minutes, basically, wait a minute. Again, the message is off, and Nick is saying this is very odd. I'm not going to share my screen, but I've got Facebook Messenger open in the background, and it's saying this is very odd, and I don't know. I don't know what is odd, because he said this is, yeah. So we're going to go with the agenda, and I'm going to start in 1 minute 12 seconds at the 30-minute mark, and then on the YouTube video I just tell everybody to fast forward 30 minutes. Okay, and that's what we're going to do here. I think we're on 29 minutes. Just let me check my Fitbit Charge 5, and yes, we're on 29 minutes. So in 60 seconds we'll revert to the normal broadcast, because as they say in the theatre, the show must go on. And if I can, after this broadcast, just basically tell everybody to actually start watching at 30 minutes, because at the 30-minute mark, I am going to do the show. And I know you can hear me on YouTube. I've had comments coming in. I know everything is technically okay from my side. So let's pretend that the last 30 minutes were just practice, And I'm going live now. And I want to say a big welcome to OneStream Live on YouTube. This is Stephen Healy from wonderful Wiltshire in England. And today we're broadcasting about, scroll down here, if I put this full screen, our broadcast today is all about multi-platform live streaming for healthcare in 2024. And my guest is Nick Wood, but Nick hasn't arrived. So that's why the late start of this broadcast. I am here, and incredibly, an agenda. So what we're going to do, I'm going to click that button again. We've got an agenda, which I'm going to follow through. Just let me check something, just one final check. And I'm going to go, that's okay. I think everything is okay. We're good to go. So, first of all, I suppose the first question is, get rid of that. Okay, it's gone. The first question is, what is multi-streaming? And this has happened gradually over the last 5 or 6 years. When this all began, we used to go live on Facebook, and then we could go live on YouTube, and then we could go live on Twitter. And the systems that were around at that time were able to allow us to broadcast to 3 destinations at one time. Now with OneStream Live, we can actually broadcast up to 45 destinations. And what we're talking about, if I take myself off solo, is the ability to multi-stream live. Now, multi-streaming live, if I bring this in and make it full screen, multi-streaming live actually means broadcasting to Facebook, LinkedIn at the same time. And from OneStream, you can broadcast to a Facebook page, Facebook group, a profile. On LinkedIn, you can broadcast to a profile or to a business page. On Twitter, you can broadcast to Twitter, although the recording will disappear afterwards. You can broadcast to YouTube and Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Vimeo, Amazon Live, Hopin, Steam, WebEx, Telegram. In fact, there are so many options today for streaming. And what we always say is, stream where your audience is, but you don't know where your audience is. Yeah. As a health care system, you will basically, I was waiting for that to change. Healthcare, you can broadcast anywhere you like. You can multi-stream. You can, basically the beauty of this is that with multi-platform live streaming, what you're actually doing is creating the content once and actually broadcasting out to multiple places all at the same time. So people can hear you on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you want to go. And they can also watch the recordings there as well. So when you're actually broadcasting live, which is what I'm doing right now, always remember there's a recording afterwards. And if you join me at 30-minute mark today and you watch the recording, I'd say a big thank you, because this occasionally happens, and you just got to go with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the agenda. And the first question on the agenda, if we remind ourselves, if I bring this in and replace, and I'm going to go full screen with it. The agenda for today, we're talking about multi-platform live streaming for healthcare in 2024. And our agenda for today is the introduction, which I've just done again, the benefits of multi-streaming, accessibility, education and training, patient education, health promotion, telemedicine, remote consultations, immediate access to information, and medical research and collaboration. Now, the reason that I was fortunate to actually bring Nick in, I'm just going to switch around here. I was fortunate to bring Nick in is that Nick, since 2012, has been involved in the healthcare industry, working for the MOD in Germany. And Nick's sister is a GP in the UK, a doctor in the UK. So that's why Nick was here to basically bring us up to speed as to what is happening in doctors in the UK, and in terms of systems that they're developing, how the systems develop. A bit of history, really, because major companies have actually got involved in creating software for the healthcare industry. The healthcare industry is one of the main users of live and recorded video. Now, the benefits of doing this, I've already hinted at. Your audience is daily on Facebook or Threads or YouTube or LinkedIn. And the benefits of multi-streaming is that basically, as I'm doing now, you create the content once, and instead of just going to one platform, you're actually going out to all the platforms we saw earlier. You can be broadcasting on OneStream to 45 different platforms at the same time. Now, as far as healthcare is concerned, there are some provisos. Healthcare professionals have a code of conduct for live video. And I mean, obviously, it is an important document, because if you're in the healthcare industry, you have to be mindful of your audience when you're actually broadcasting. You cannot, well, you have to be honest and truthful. If you're talking about particular medicine, then you have to give the facts about that medicine. You cannot make claims about any area of healthcare on live video. If you're an advertising agency, if you're advertising something, there are still guidelines. Yeah, here in the UK, if somebody tries to say that this is effective for curing a certain illness and it doesn't, then there will be complaints and the advert will be withdrawn, and the company will be fined. So healthcare is one of those industries where what you're actually doing is being totally truthful, open and honest. Now, if I go back to here and just bring this in, I'm going to slide this across. He said, okay, slide this across, and we've got that. And I'm going to keep my glasses on the rest of this show so I don't annoy anybody by taking them off and on again. So you've got me with the glasses. So the benefits of multi-streaming are that you can broadcast anywhere. Now, accessibility, if you are broadcasting on the major platforms, then people can find you. Now, it's true of medical broadcasts as it is of general broadcasting. People have to be able to find you. So if you're going to be appearing on live video, you have to market it properly. Now, what I would love to see is basically in the UK and in the US, you have a structure. Each state or county has its own healthcare board. And underneath the healthcare board are the doctors in every town and city throughout the country. If doctors wish to broadcast live, then there are a set of guidelines that they can refer to know what they can talk about, the things they can't say, things they can say. But what I think would be ideal is for practitioners to actually broadcast live. Now, whether you broadcast live publicly on Facebook or YouTube, or you broadcast live privately on a website, which is invitation only, is a personal choice. Technically, you can broadcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, or on a password protected website. And if you are basically, what I would love to see, and this is my personal wish, I was diagnosed in July 2023 with diabetes type 2. And I'm now living with diabetes type 2. It's a chronic illness. I will never lose it. It's going to be there forever. I've got to adapt my lifestyle to that. And what I found very useful, I have been watching a certain lady, the glucose goddess. And if you suffer from diabetes, do check out the glucose goddess. I'll type in and there it is. And I'm going to show that on screen. It won't show on screen, will it? Oh, right. I follow the glucose goddess. Now, the glucose goddess is a French lady who broadcasts live, and she broadcasts regularly on Facebook, talking about living with diabetes type 2. And she's an exemplar for anybody. It's basically, she's doing what a number of you in healthcare could do. She's taking her message to everybody by being publicly live on Facebook and on YouTube. And all the shows are scripted. Yeah. Studio. She's in a delightful studio. And each time she talks about a different topic, a different aspect of diabetes. And she gives you the problem and then the possible solutions. Yeah. I mean, I'm living the life that I do because of listening to the glucose goddess, because she calls them hacks, but there are things that you can do to improve everything, improve your health and improve your blood sugar levels. And this is a personal shout out and personal thank you to the glucose goddess, who we discovered is just giving out amazing advice for free. And then you can follow up by buying her books, which are on Amazon. But basically, when I was diagnosed with diabetes, I had no idea. You start off, you don't have a clue. It's a warning sign. Well, it's something that you didn't expect to have. Now you have it. Now you've got to deal with it. And we were recommended the book by the glucose goddess, and I got to say, we both read it. Angelica and I read the book from cover to cover. And now that we keep up to date with everything that she's doing by watching her on live video, or as I said a moment ago, on the replay. And my sincere wish for every single illness is that somebody who is involved in the field could come forward and broadcast on a regular basis, live on Facebook and YouTube, at least, multi-stream to those two to start with, and answer people's questions live on air. I mean, the glucose goddess gets questions sent before the broadcast. That's a great way to do it, because you can pre-qualify the questions. Yeah? Get people to send the questions to an email address, and you can then collate the questions, and you can use those as basically the running order for your live broadcast. So what I like is, for every single illness there must be someone there who's got the depth of knowledge and the personality to actually, and I've got a message coming in which says, good morning, and it's Domino. Nice to see you. Thank you for dropping by. And we're now full steam ahead. Thank you. Good to see you. So glucose goddess is an exemplar of using live video in healthcare. Basically, from her point of view, she's actually helping thousands of people around the world. And I've got comment coming in. Multi-platform integration and cross-community engagement. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. Yes, integrating community and broadcasting together. Build a community on the back of it. I mean, I know the glucose goddess, and I'm going to come back here, is building a community, a worldwide community, because diabetes knows no boundaries. It's not just a British, it's USA, everywhere around the world. And the thing is, more and more people have the illness, being diagnosed with the illness. There are millions who aren't diagnosed. And the glucose goddess is giving out information which is truthful, to the point, and useful. And Domino's saying exactly. Okay. So my feeling is that because you can live stream to multiple destinations, if you have expertise in healthcare and you follow the guidelines in your own country, every medical profession has a set of guidelines produced by the governing body and that you have to adhere to. In other words, you've got to be truthful, you've got to be honest, and you can help people. Because if it wasn't for the glucose goddess, I would be floundering. I want more and more people in the healthcare industry to actually go live and advise people. Yeah, if you are so fortunate as to have written a book, and I don't want to make healthcare and property in the same sentence in the UK. We don't do that. But if you published a book, then you could use that as the basis of every show that you do, every broadcast that you do. You could refer to the book, but you can help people directly. It is it's underutilized. I know. Let's go off. Go off healthcare for a moment to something which is akin to healthcare, which is fitness. One of the ways to avoid, no, I'm going to be careful. I've got to be 100% here. Any comments that I make on my own, basically, the fitness industry, the health and fitness industry, has an amazing opportunity with live video, and it is part of the healthcare industry, because if people can stay fitter, then they're less likely. Well, do your own logic, but the fitter you are, most of the time, then the better off you are. Now, a lot of gyms around the world are actually reaching out from inside the gym and saying, you can come to the gym and you can have a personal instructor, but we're going to come to you. Just think about it. If I want to know anything about yoga, and I do, then I can go over to YouTube, I can type in beginners yoga, and then I've got a list of teachers that I can listen to and choose. I can choose one. I can choose an instructor by previewing everybody, and I can learn about yoga. Yeah, I can learn about rock climbing. I can learn about anything, but it's because people have created video in the first place. Now, fitness studios, and we've got one called Fructifit, which is down the road. It's got 3 gyms, but the owner of Fructifit, Matt Frucci, reaches out, and he does live broadcasts on Facebook and on YouTube, reaching out to his clients, but also to everybody. Because once you put it public, what you're actually doing is broadcasting to the world. Now, you can't make money from it, not directly. Indirectly, you could. Once people get to know you, once people get to like you and trust you, they will help you promote your broadcasts. And just because you're a fitness center based in, well, say Devizes, doesn't mean that you can't reach out across the world. And that's what live video does. Live video means that you can broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you like. Let's just remind ourselves. I'm just going to bring this back on the stream here. And I'm going to replace that, and I'm going to bring it over here. When it comes to live streaming, you can broadcast on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. You can broadcast anywhere, and you can get your message out. You can help people. The healthcare industry by default, has a mission to help people. And this is an extension of that. Being able to go live and broadcast is an extension, because you can. I just need to bring this in for a moment, and I'm going to replace it. I'm going to bring it on screen. Okay, I'm going to bring it over here. I know I'm hopping about my agenda, but I will eventually. Just let me bring this here. I'm going to put it full screen. Okay, so it's now full screen. Accessibility, you're accessible to everybody. Now, basically, there is a great need. I think this is my personal take on this, for education and training, patient education and training. And you can do this through live video. We're not talking about consultations here. We're talking about that you can give health and advice on live video. If you're a medical practitioner, then you can go live. You can go live globally. You can go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can go live on your website, and you can go live privately. If you want to do a regular clinic, virtual clinic for your patients, then you can do it, because you can password protect it, and only your patients would have password access. And you can educate. You can bring in experts. If you want to, I mean, no matter where you are in medical practice, you will have patients who have diabetes. Bring in, you've got your own diabetes knowledge through training, but bring in diabetes experts to actually talk about the disease and how to cope, because it's a coping side that we need help with. You need to know what you should and shouldn't do, because we can't, it's with us forever, but how badly it affects us is determined by our fitness. But basically, education and training through the medium of live video is an opportunity, and patient education as well in private groups. And you could have a private group anywhere. It could be on Facebook, it could be LinkedIn, it could be your own website. You can reach out and talk to your patients on video. And basically, as I said with the glucose goddess, if people know that you're going to be live and you're actually going to be broadcasting and talking about a topic, then okay, and I've got a comment coming in which is saying powerful, and adding to what I've just said, Domino is saying in real time and global communication connection with added online features, and it is very powerful. Thank you, Domino. Thank you. Right. So health education, yeah, and health promotion. All the major medicine companies actually promote on television and on social media using a mixture of recorded and live video. And it's open, it's an open market. I mean, the thing is that advertising on TV, on the major channels, is expensive. Promoting your healthcare services and products on social media is not expensive. It doesn't have to be. Doing it on your website doesn't have to be expensive. You can basically reach out to people. Now, one of the growth areas of live video, and I'm not talking about multi-streaming, I just want to take a diversion, is telemedicine. And I don't know whether you know it or not, but telemedicine is an amazing growth area. We recently visited Australia. Angelica and I went to see my son in Brisbane, and whilst surfing there, I discovered that if you want to talk to a doctor in Australia or America, then you can pay for a 10-minute consultation. You can pay $25, and you get a consultation about the area of health that you want to talk about. Now, this is basically 3 points here. One, in the UK especially, it is very difficult to get a doctor's appointment. There are so many patients and so few doctors that to get a doctor's appointment, you have to wait. And that's only the tip of the iceberg, but it's the iceberg I'm talking about. There is an opportunity for telemedicine. Now, there are software houses that provide specialist software to do this. And this is a one-to-one consultation with a patient over video where the medic has the patient's medical records on screen whilst they're talking to them and can add to them. These are systems set up. So telemedicine is here. It works. People are using it. Allied to that, I'm just going to put this full screen again and put my glasses back on. Allied to that, and I want this on screen, so I'm going to put this on screen. Okay. Telemedicine, remote consultations. I gave the example last time I talked on this subtopic of Australia, where the people who live in Australia are sometimes hundreds, if not thousands of miles from a doctor. And there used to be what was called the flying doctor service, who would fly to visit a patient and then fly to visit the next patient. We don't need that anymore. With telemedicine, remote consultations are here and live. And it's just there now. The thing is, I said earlier that we now have immediate access to any information, medical information, and the more people providing the information, the better off we are. If healthcare professionals could actually broadcast more, we would all benefit. It would be good for us. If I want to know anything about human illness, I can go to Google. But what if I knew there was somebody broadcasting about it live, and I could send my questions in and I could get my questions answered? That would basically, I know, I just want to give a caveat here, that if you are in the healthcare profession and you're broadcasting live, there are guidelines, and the guidelines are different in every single country. But basically, you can help everybody around the world. Because it's the other thing, I was talking about doctors a moment ago and consultations in Australia. If I wanted to get a consultation from a doctor in New Zealand, I could. If I wanted a consultation from a doctor in America, I can. From Mexico, Brazil, Portugal. Yeah, I can get a medical appointment online simply at the click of a button, live video. Yeah. Now, the sort of final area that I'm going to talk about today, now we finally got going, and thank you for sticking with me, is one which is very important in terms of medical advances. We hear on the news of new drugs that are gone through their trials and are now available in our health services in the UK and USA and around the world. Everybody's got their own clearing committee, as it were, and drugs arrive at different times in different countries. But the situation with that is that the research that actually brings drugs to market can now take place through multi-streaming, because the providers of the information can stream out to private groups on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and their own websites. They can stream. You can hold online conferences, healthcare conferences, and people can come together where you've got a common interest in a particular area of research. people can come together through the medium of live video. It is just so powerful. People from around the globe, somebody from America, India, Australia, Canada, can all be on the same screen. Now, that is Zoom-like, I suppose, but it's also the opportunity to actually do it in public. If researchers wanted to do a survey following the guidelines, then you could actually go live and reach out to people, do your research online. But researchers can actually come together and talk to each other. Okay, so back to the introduction, and we talked about what is multi-platform live streaming. Its ability to broadcast live to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch all at one and the same time. I'm coming here so you can actually see me. I'm going to put that up there. Okay, I'm going to put that up there. I've got it. Okay, I'm going to put my glasses on for this section. So I want to say a big thank you for actually watching me live today. You saw a little bit of Nick earlier, and I'm just going to run through this. So did the introduction, and then what is multi-platform live streaming, which we went through. So basically YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, you can broadcast anywhere, including your website. The benefits of doing so are that the benefits of live streaming to multiple locations is to reach a wide audience. Yeah? The thing is that certain networks are popular in certain countries. Okay, I know that in France, for example, French networks are more popular. Yeah, because the language. Yeah, each country has its own specialist network services, which people will prefer over Facebook. And the ability to multi-stream to virtually anywhere now with remote access is there. So you can actually broadcast in any country in the world. It's magical. I know I'm in awe of all this technology. Accessibility. By broadcasting on public channels, you are making your information and your products and your services accessible to people. I gave the example earlier of if I want to know something about diabetes, I will go to YouTube and search for diabetes, and then I can pick, I can listen to several videos and pick somebody out from the healthcare industry who can help me. In other words, somebody who resonates with me. In other words, YouTube is a shop window, and you can go there and shop. Then we talked about education and training, and my personal wish that more and more healthcare professionals would actually broadcast. We all need education. We all need to know. It's the not know. When you have a medical problem, it's the not knowing that causes more stress than anything else. Not knowing what you have. So if we're better educated about medical situations that we're likely to come across, then, and we can do it live. The reason for doing it live is simple and straightforward. And I'm just going to go full screen here. The reason for going live is pure and simple. People. When you go live with a healthcare program on video, you can, in the run-up to that live broadcast, promote it, which is what you would do. But you can also ask for questions. And asking for questions in the run-up to the broadcast helps you plan the broadcast, because these are real people with real questions looking for answers. And in healthcare, this is so important. And it's one of my hobby horses now, that more healthcare professionals should actually use social media, given their guidelines, and actually broadcast out to the world and take questions from the general public. It doesn't matter if you get a situation where your broadcast becomes so popular that you can't cope, then franchise it. Yeah, there's always an answer. This is not building up additional problems. This is helping people, genuinely helping people. And because there are guidelines in place for healthcare professionals in every country, we know that we can rely on what's being said. Okay, so take me off full screen again. So education, patient education is important. Health promotion. I didn't speak too much about this, but if you have healthcare products which can be promoted publicly, then multi-streaming is the way to go. There are probably different guidelines on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You would have to check out, first of all, the medical guidelines, then the social media guidelines. But they're obvious. I would say that it's navigable, and you can actually go ahead and broadcast and talk about your services and products. We talked about the burgeoning market of telemedicine. There are specialist systems for this, and those systems enable a physician to see his patient's record on screen whilst he's talking to them. And those are specialist systems, and they are growing. As far as we're concerned, I just want to make this point here. If a doctor if it's difficult to get a doctor's appointment where you are, think about that you can have an appointment with a doctor who's online anywhere in the world. You can have a live video appointment with a doctor in Australia, New Zealand, India, Pakistan, Norway, Sweden, Finland, England. And the thing is that they will all have different charging rates, but the premise is that you can talk to a specialist for 10 minutes. Yeah. At least get some knowledge of your situation. I see that as a growing market and an excellent use of live video. And basically what you're granting people is immediate access to information. If you're live, they can ask the questions beforehand, and when you're live, you can answer questions, and you can create a real world benefit. And finally, we spoke about, I'll come back to me now, the importance of live video in medical research, because we all benefit when medical researchers from around the world can get together in a live video conference across, as I said earlier, across several different platforms. So this has been Stephen from wonderful Wiltshire in England. I want to say thank you to Domino for joining me. I want to say thank you to Balak, and I want to say an eternal thank you to one of my inspirations for today's talk today about healthcare, and that is the Glucose Goddess. Going back to where we began, and I'm going to bring that on screen, and I'm going to put it full screen. This program has been about multi-platform live streaming for healthcare, and the example gave a real world example was the Glucose Goddess, who broadcasts live on Facebook and YouTube, whose books Angelica and I have read, whose videos Angelica and I watch live, whose replays we watch live. Healthcare on the social media is a win for everybody. And using OneStream, you can go and broadcast up to 45 different destinations. To everybody who's watched today, thank you. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week when we're talking about Facebook groups and broadcasting into Facebook groups. So from Wiltshire in England, this has been Stephen live talking about healthcare and multi-streaming. Enjoy the rest of your week. Goodbye for now. Bye.